So the hit Korean series Squid Game has now become the biggest series launch for Netflix ever. The show is about contestants who have to win at deadly children's games for a chance to pay off their huge debts. It gained 111 million viewers since it debuted just late last month. It's also the #1 series in 94 countries around the world, and it's the first Korean language series to hit #1 in the US. Bridgerton formerly held the title for the previous biggest launch. Okay, so I know that Al, you just started it. Jeff and Erica have not yet seen it. I wanted Tori's still in the studio. If I could, Tori, if we could, you're the one that got me into it. So I just finished it. Why this phenomenon? How did you even know about it before anybody else did?
To be honest, the aesthetics is what's really famous. The red jumpsuits has sort of gone everywhere. And if you do like the show, the idea is the aesthetics are real fluffy. There's a lot of pinks and greens and children's games and sounds that are comforting, mixed with this like really violent reality show game for you to get out of debt. And it ends fatally in these games. And what's so scary, Sam, and I wanted your opinion on this, is I've talked to a lot of people and they say, this doesn't feel like it could be that far off. I know that sounds crazy, but in a near future dystopia of all these people trying to get out of debt, this reality show game doesn't seem that insane, which makes it even more twisted. Does that make sense?
It does, because here's the caveat here. There's consent. Kind of like when Eric and I were talking about 9 Perfect Strangers on Hulu. You have these like crazy out of this world, but not really when you think about it, premises, because consent's involved. And these individuals give their consent. And of course they dangle the carrot, and there's a whole nother moral dilemma that you have to grapple with in your mind, Tori. But what I loved about it, because I tend to not really like violent shows anymore, but this to me seems a little bit more Tarantino-esque, where it's a little bit more fantasy-like.
It's for sure stylized.
You're not cringing and like closing your eyes. You can watch it.
Yeah, it's twisted psychologically, but if you guys like Tarantino or Stanley Kubrick, there's that really cool stylized effect of it where it sort of feels like you're watching a video game in effect. But I will warn you, it is kind of psychologically, like I had some anxiety afterwards, and I would say I like the subtitles better than the dubbing. You just have to turn your TV to Korean and use English subtitles. That's how you can find it that way.
Did we sell it to y'all or no?
No. I mean, I was...
No. What didn't work?
Well, first of all, this past year and a half has been psychologically twisted, so I don't need to watch any. I love that people found a show that they're into. You know, I feel some type of way about my shows too. I'm just at a point in my life right now where I just can't even take any more added trauma as entertainment. I can't.
You need a Schitt's Creek then. You need a laugh. What about you, Jeff? Are you going to watch this?
Maybe. We were going to watch it last night and said we watched it Guilty with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, I heard you're not a fan.
Wow. And I love Jake Gyllenhaal, and there's big actors in there. It's just, wow.
Yeah,
And
sometimes you miss.
You're gonna continue
I started it, and it's just like, you know, Tori, and I want to ask you really quickly, did you think that this show resonates with so many people? Because that's where most of the world is in such back-breaking debt that it's not that crazy for them to risk their life to get out from under it?
It's so
Tori's the expert.
I think we got it.
Let me tell you. All right, I'm just going to say this last thing is it's very hard for a foreign film to get to #1 on Netflix, and the reason is what Al said is that you could see yourself in this movie. And again, if you like violence, to me it was quite violent and quite twisted, but highly recommend. I'll get out of here because
Tori, who's your favorite character from the show?
Gi Han. Why? I like Sang Woo. That's a really interesting character because what would you do to survive is also part of the philosophy.
Yep.
What song do you think captures the
Oh my gosh.
All right, we're moving on. Bye, Tori. Love you. Thank you, Tori. We appreciate you. We appreciate you a lot.